All right, y'all. First and foremost, give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and his son Hamashiach, whom some call Yahushua, Yeshua, Yehoshua. We mostly know as Jesus Christ. I have a video here, short clip with priest Hakah, formerly known as Deacon Hakah of Genesis, leader of the Genesis Israelite camp, and he's explaining how Jews became white. All right, and I'm gonna show some problems with some of my One West Israel only. Not that I disagree with anything that he's saying here. I agree with what he's saying, but some of the problems with that I feel, people should have. I feel like you should have. Understanding what priest is bringing out here. Let me let this play here.
Most of us don't. The reason why most of us don't know is because our nationality was taken from us and they hijacked it from us. You got the Colonimus family.
Our identity was hijacked from us. And we say that my challenge would be when. Let's begin to put a date on that. When was our identity hijacked and taken away from us? At what point? Let's put a date on it.
You got the Khazarian conversion. This was the time period in which those who were converting to what you would call Judaism, and then so they were practicing our language, our customs, all of the laws, statutes, and commandments, but they weren't Israelites. You see that with Ruth. You see that with Rahab. You see that with Uriah. You see that with all kind of actual Gentiles converting to our customs. So when we got kicked.
So you have converts. You see it with Ruth. You see it with Uriah. You see it with, who else he mentioned? Let's let it play back. Let me play it back a little bit.
Converting to our customs. So when we got kicked out of the land in 70 AD, those white Jews who converted during the time of the Maccabees,
when we got kicked out during 70 AD, those that were converted during the Maccabees, we keep talking about, the Hasmonean dynasty and how Israel conquered, or the Jews or the kingdom of Judah conquered Edom and converted them.
Hasmonean dynasty, they kept the customs while we lost the customs and went into captivity.
70 AD, he's saying they kept the customs while we left the customs in 70 AD. I don't agree with that part. There has to be a part where we left the customs, but I'm not going to say it's as early as 70 AD. Not going to say that.
So they have perpetuity and continuity from 2,000 years ago. So a white...
They have perpetuity and continuity. From 2,000 years ago. He's saying that these converts, and if you're going back to Ruth, you had to like 25, 26, almost 3,000 years of converts keeping the law, statutes, and commandments and operating as Jews.
You can say, my family has been practicing this 2,000 years ago. So a white Jew can say, my family has been practicing this for 2,000 years. Well, you're right, because you guys converted 2,300 years ago.
My thing is, if they've been 2,000 years is not something to just, it don't matter, man. 2,000, that is a very, very long time, sir. 2,500, that's a very long time for somebody to be keeping the culture. And then, we sitting up here arguing with these folks who've been doing something for 2,500 years, telling them who they not. I just don't feel the need to. I don't see the value in it. If you have this understanding of some people that have been living a certain way for 2,500 years under the banner of being Jews. For 2,500 years, I don't see the reason. I don't see the value in going back and forth with these folks trying to tell them that who they not and who they are. And then let's say you under the understanding that the earth is only 6,000 years old. Well, half of the existence of the earth, and then you have to then even go back to when was Israel? When did Jacob become Israel? When was Israel started as a nation? How long has Israel existed as a nation on earth? And then we're looking at how long we've been here. And then that's why I said put a date on it when we lost it. Or let's say he's saying 70 AD. So from its inception, let me see if I can find that information out real quick. When was Israel? Let's see if we just get a date. We ain't gotta say that for absolute. We just finna Google a little date real quick. All right. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. I don't know if we have a date. It don't look like we're pulling up a date here. Okay, so according to the Bible, Jacob lived between 1446 BC to 1577 BC. Let's just do the 1400. So from 1400 BC, Israel comes into existence. All right, Israel's been in existence. Started its existence in the 14th century. Okay. Now, for them 1,400 years, and if we take what Ox saying that 70 AD we lost, and then we went out and we lost our identity and stopped keeping the commandments. 1,400, let's say 1,500 years. So 1,500 years we knew we were Israel, and we operated as Israel. Okay. He's saying we started converting around 5th century, not us, but Gentiles started converting around 5th, 6th century, right? Almost halfway point of half of them 14 years, we started bringing in converts. Really, even before that. But I'm just going to deal with way before that. But I'm just going to deal with what priest Hakah is bringing out here. And just want you to see the ramifications of what he's saying. Okay. So Israel kept their identity for 1,500 years. And then you're saying that these people came in 5th, 4th century. They started converting and becoming Israel. And then there was a conversion 1st, 2nd century, 150, 160 BC by the Hasmonean dynasty. all the way to present day now, which would mean that they've been Jews longer than us. And you want to argue back and forth with these folks. I don't see the value in it. I don't see the value in it. You sitting up here saying that these folks been Jews longer than we have. They've been operating under the law, statutes, and commandments, operating under the banner of Israel for over 2,500 years. In Israel, and we only been doing it since its inception from 14th century to the 1st century, and then we just totally lost and totally, stopped keeping the commandments. And then we're coming back in the 19th century telling these folks who they aren't. Just don't see the value in it. And that's my opinion. Y'all hit the comments and, tell me what y'all think about that. What do you think about this information that he's bringing out? All right, I'll let it play one more time and then we'll get up out of here.
The reason why most of us don't know is because our nationality was taken from us and they hijacked it from us. You got the Colonimus family.
And the whole thing about them hijack, they didn't hijack it. We converted them. They weren't, this wasn't, initially was for some it was their choice, but it was a forced conversion during the Hasmonean dynasty. And then you have, we have examples of the Pharisees going out making converts and proselytes. We have the story of Ruth could have been like a forced issue. It was either gonna get down or lay down, but it ain't necessarily forced. But it could be looked at as a get down, lay down situation. But Ruth wouldn't be a forced situation. Or some of the other people, Uriah and some of these other people that he named, wouldn't be a forced situation. It's not a hijack situation. Even Naaman, the leper, when he want to take the sand and say, man, I'm only going to worship the God of Israel, this one true God. It's not a forced situation. It's just an acknowledgement and understanding that this is the one true God and this is who I'm going to serve and worship. Let's again play from the top. I ain't going to interrupt. We're going to ride out.
The reason why most of us don't know is because our nationality was taken from us and they hijacked it from us. You got the Colonimus family. You got the Khazarian conversion. This was the time period in which...
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Again, the Colonimus family, that's not a forced situation. The Khazarians, that's not a forced situation.
Those who were...
And this was kind of a situation chosen. I think the Khazars was kind of a situation that they converted, for certain benefits in trade and in war, certain politics that were involved.
Converting to what you would call Judaism, and then so they were practicing our language, our customs, all of the laws, statutes, and commandments, but they weren't Israelites. You see that with Ruth. You see that with Rahab. You see that with Uriah. You see that with all kind of actual Gentiles converting to our customs. So when we got kicked out of the land in 70 AD, those white Jews who converted during the time of the Maccabees with the Hasmonean dynasty, they kept the customs while we lost the customs and went in.
Also, if you look into the Jewish wars, you'll see that those converts were fighting with us. Those same Edomite converts, they were at war. They were fighting with Israel against the Romans.
The captivity. So they have perpetuity and continuity from 2,000 years ago. So a white Jew can say, my family has been practicing this for 2,000 years. Well, you're right, because you guys converted 2,300 years ago. The reason why...
All All right, y'all. I pray this thing was edifying. Y'all be blessed. Y'all hit the comments. Let me know what you think. If you have any discrepancies, let's just talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's put some dates on it. Let's figure this thing out. Pray this thing was edifying. Y'all be blessed. Shalom.